Alright, first off, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom, the brother Iron from Jamaica camp, coming back with another lesson, hopefully it's edifying. And it's been a while since I did a World War 3 Geopolitics, and this is an update based on the sanctions that has been done on Russia. Now, as I say, out here in Jamaica, people believe that because them in Jamaica and them are hear about Syria and Iran and the United States, them feel like the things them were happening around the world now affect them, right? Them feel like say, oh, that over there, so everybody good, right? Until if them not see one missile dropping at them waters, or them not see some form of gunshot or fire in a for them area, then all of a sudden they're not affected. But the Lord basically I gonna show these people that hey, you're not as special as you think, right? As in untouchable, right? So we're just bringing out and showing that hey, the things that may happen around the world affect we now. Basically, last week, Mr. News basically assured that the Jamaica bauxite industry get affected by the recent sanctions that were applied onto Russia, right? And while going through the article, I found another one that was another article that was in 2013, based on when the whole Crimea situation had begun, right? So just going to go into the articles. Some of them are say the same thing, but just a jump around and points, and hopefully you are edified, right? So I'm gonna start with the old one first, and then afterwards we'll go into the ones concerning bauxite, right? So this is from the Jamaica Gleaner, right? And this was published on Friday, May 16, 2014, right? Now it says, Chairman of the Jamaica Tourist Board, JTB, Dennis Morrison, has cautioned that sanctions imposed on influential members of the Russian business community, Slovakia, by the United States have begun to hurt sections of the local tourism sector. And according to them, tourism is one of the main lifeline for Jamaica, for the Jamaican economy, right? But right away it say it start hurt them. Now the brothers them going to say you have trade wars eventually turn into real wars, right? And we are actually in the middle of a world war, but we're in the trade war aspect, right? The tariffs being implemented. You see Trump and China go at it, tariff years of this and tariff years of that. So the trade war is on, and it has always been on between even America and Russia. Now, hey, just as we say, in this third world war, countries like Jamaica and certain Caribbean countries, they might get caught in the crossfire where them just have to pick a side, right? Or hey, they're not gonna be in a neutral zone, but to some extent, if you watch any documentary on World War One or World War Two, the so-called neutral zones were the places that got affected the most, right? Because them actually, that's how where most of the impact of the war stay, because in neutral everybody can go there. So once the two side them go there, they might kick off and they might get affected. So this it's literally a world war. So everybody in the world will get affected, right? It says Morrison, an economist by profession, noted that only days after the United States issued sanctions in March 2013, a Russian tour company suspended its weekly engagement with the local tourism product, right? So right away them lose revenue, right? Them start lose revenue right away. You know that economy is the lifeline of any country or any nation. So basically that hurt economy, which can in turn not only affect Russia, but it can destabilize Jamaica as well, because the revenue was supposed to come in, it basically a tamper with the blood flow, right? It says the US had initially blacklisted 20 Russian officials and businessmen and threatened to sanction the entire economy, with President Barack Obama announcing a new executive order imposing further sanctions on top Russian officials and businessmen. So these are from the Obama administration. And hey, when Obama come to Jamaica, everybody are jumpy and happy, say, oh, yeah, Obama come. But really and truly, say, Obama just took me here, we actually hurting the economy. As a matter of fact, me did do a lesson on it, him come actually come threaten you about the American foreign policy and for making you know, say, yo, mine will not get too buddy with China, especially with the whole Goat Island thing, right? It says the order also allows for measures against Russian energy, mining, defense, and engineering sectors. Now, Jamaica, Russia is the owner of the bauxite companies here in Jamaica, so that would have come under mining, right? For Jamaica, the prospects are continuing to look bleak as the West threatens another round of sanctions against Russia in an effort to deter meddling in May 25th presidential elections in Ukraine, right? So the more sanctions Russia get, believe it or not, you Jamaicans who are predominantly from the tribe of Benjamin, so-called Jamaicans, you are affected by these sanctions just the same, right? The Obama administration and its allies are reportedly placing high hopes in the ability of sanctions to sway Russia's actions and general contest Russia's annexation of Crimea and meddling in Ukraine, right? It says Morrison expressed concern that the dispute could continue to batter tourism as support from that section of Europe dwindles, right? The money now come in, right? With Ukraine being a major importer of bauxite from Jamaica, Morrison said that the tourism sector is feeling the pinch more. This is affecting us in tourism than bauxite, he said. The Russian tour company Transit Tour was bringing in a flight here once every 10 days, and because of some of the measures taken against individuals and especially the wealthy ones, the flights has been dropped. Exactly, right? Let's see if we need to go further. It is affecting especially the proprietors, which were really the beneficiaries because the visitors would come and stay longer. We know that it has impacted the smaller operations. So, right, people come in, them spend their money, the economy get life, so to speak, right? It says leading expert in bauxite sector Dr. Carlton Davis endorsed Morrison's suggestion that the local bauxite sector will not be impacted in a major way by the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and as it relates to the investment of UC Russell that promised to help lift the deflated industry, right? And the UC Russell is basically the mining company here, but this is what I'm saying at 2014, say, yo, this now going affect the bauxite industry. But here in a 2018, you're seeing where the bauxite industry is affected, and we're about to go into that. It says Davis noted that the aluminum plant to which Jamaica supplied bauxite between 1984 and 1990 is located in Ukraine. But while it is a Russian-owned plant, I don't think they can afford to have the plant in Ukraine not operating because Ukraine is in financial trouble, he said. Right? So at first, the whole Russian thing, they affect, according to this article, they affect the tourism industry. Basically, lack of funds. Now we're going to the whole bauxite thing, right? Which is more recent, right? The first one I'm gonna read is the one from Jamaica Observer. Slovakia. What the hell? Slovakia, I can just like sit on a play around. Our phone freeze. Oh god. Hey, me read the article here a couple minutes ago. God. Hey, in a what make me get to read the article, right? The link supposed to take me straight to the article, but it keeps rerouting, right? We'll try to get the another one in the meantime. I tell you, see it on you. Alright, this is one from RGR News. Right, this was 4 days ago. It says premature, says U case on concerns regarding US sanctions on bauxite. Right? It says one of the unions representing 600 workers employed at the Ewarton bauxite plant owned by a Russian company, UC Rusal, has described as premature concerns raised by opposition spokesman on mining Philip Paulwell. Right, this was the article I was about to read before. Right, so it'll make reference to that about their fate in light of tough sanctions imposed by the United States. UC Rusal was among 12 Russian companies and their principals who were sanctioned last week by the US government over allegations of Russian military interventions and cyber attacks. Right, same thing in the first article of 2014. Right, it says individual companies and governments around the world who do business with the UC Rusal face the risk of being blacklisted by the United States. Right? So basically, Jamaica could be blacklisted just for the business with Russia, but the plant is in Jamaica. Right? So right there again, them get caught in the crossfires again. Hey, me think things will happen to Russia and really not affect we. Think things will happen in the Middle East don't affect we. It says early this week, Paulwell said that Jamaica must brace itself for the worst in light of the sanctions. Right? So I jump down. It says the US. This is something that was said by Vincent Morris. He said the U.S. economy needs bauxite. The economy is growing, and as a result, the industry needs not only bauxite but aluminum. The president of the U.S. understand that putting in certain sanctions could hurt the U.S. economy. I don't think the powers that be in the U.S. will allow that to happen, said President of Union Clerical, Administrative and Supervisor Employees Vincent Morrison. Now, what him not understand is that, or if him understand is him just a talk about a ear, right? Because he must say, oh, the economy is going on really, but the world economy are go down, firstly. Secondly, the US are play chicken with them economy with China and Russia and all these other companies because them know them not have the time, right? The US economy is on a very thin line right now. We're about to break at any moment. So them not have the time to sit down and try regroup or whether them economy I get not yes or no. Them not have the time for that. Right now them a say, yo, I go hard, I go home. Them a play chicken. Why you think them and China go so hard with the tariffs? Oh, you do tariff on this, alright, me I do tariff on that. You do tariff on this, alright. You don't bonds, me I do this. You do that. Hey, them just a go, even though them know that it can't hurt them economy, but them must say, oh, who are gonna die out first, or who are gonna bleed out first. That's the game when them a play chicken. Right? So this way matter about if obviously don't know what take place. Right? Because the US we do this, we hurt them own economy just for going at this war to make sure so them come out on top. Right? It says US Rusal owns 93% of the Windall Co. aluminum company in Jamaica. Hey, and not the next thing a lot of Jamaicans don't know that the bauxite industry is owned by Russia. Right here in Jamaica. Which operates in Ewarton Works and Kirkvin Aluminum Refinery in Manchester. Right? It says down here it says while Morrison added that it is likely that the US Rusal will be able to withstand the US sanctions. We talking about US Rusal financially they are a very strong company. We believe that there are ways and means to resolve the issue created by the sanctions imposed by the US government, he said, which is true because Russia have the BRIC nations, they have certain trade deals with Iran and China where them now have to use the US economy and thing where they might still get the goods or whatever, but the whole fact that Jamaica supplied, you now say, oh, you're in the United States are in hot water because you bypass them sanction and aid Russia in doing that. And China as well, which them, well, as we do the breakdown couple I think about last year concerning China and how they might influence our economy as well. So you basically Jamaica in a very sticky situation because you're between three major world powers right now. We are both to go at each other, right? You're friends with Russia and China, which are enemies of America, and all three countries have a major foothold in your country. That is detrimental to your country, yo. Right? But hey, the people now look into these things. So with people like with people Juve session now. Everybody in a Juve, everybody in a them life, everybody in a this, everybody. But nobody now think about what the prophets are bring out, and I think about the word of the Lord. Right? May I try pull up about the article here and see. Hopefully it come up. Right? Hey, we don't really know what the problem, but hey, we bring out this. I read this article here a little bit before me start record the video. It should I go going at the Financial Times, because one of the main thing me go is our next website where basically I go say the same thing. So Russell sanctions lead to panic buying of alumina, right? So even in the world economy, the world are get affected by the sanctions on Russia, because they are like a major producer of bauxite, right? Now I'm not going to all like basically some of them are say the same thing. Say them are get sanctioned, right? It says alumina, the refined white powder which smelters use to make aluminum, has traded at prices up to 30% higher for some cargoes than before sanctions were in place. That is more than double the jump seen in aluminum itself. So right now the aluminum price basically a jump, which are basically have a huge effect on the market. And once the market is affected, then they know say a whole heap of repercussions can come from that. It says there is panic buying in alumina. One trader said, warning that the price could continue to get higher. It's a bit of a scramble, right? Everybody are worried about the whole thing. It says the reason for the dramatic jump is that Russell is not only the largest producer of aluminum outside China, but also supplies 7% of the world's alumina, with plants in Ireland, Jamaica, and 20% stake in Rio Tinto, giant refinery in Queensland, Australia, right? So hey, Russia have a very important role to play in the aluminum trade, right? It says unlike the aluminum market, which was well supplied before the sanctions were announced against Oleg Deripaska and his empire on Friday last week, the aluminum market was already short of supply because the partial shutdown of the world's largest refinery of the powder in Brazil followed an environmental accident, right? So the whole, even in Brazil, they have the whole thing. So if the Caribbean, you're not hearing enough about the Caribbean as it pertains to what take place in Syria and all them places, but hey, them are part of the puzzle as well, yo. And once one thing get affected, then everything else affected. Hence, it is a world war, right? It says, in February, Brazil environment regulator ordered Norsk Hydro, the owner of the unknown Alnotore refinery, to cut its production by 50% following accusations that it had contaminated local drinking water in Barcarena after heavy rains, right? So hey, that affect the country right away, because you cut unemployment is no friend to any economy, right? It actually lowers productivity, which in terms of go back and affect the economy, which can also turn out into protests and unrest because of unemployment, right? Destabilization right away. It says the price for aluminum has risen to trade at $475 a ton, according to the Metal Bulletin. But two traders said that at least on one cargo, the price went as high as $601 on Thursday, highlighting the shortage in the market, right? So right there and then, you see it. Right? Russell owns Europe's largest supplier of aluminum in Ireland, as well as alumina and bauxite refinery in Jamaica. It made $1 million from sales of aluminum last year. Now, this country shows say the aluminum is very important because it used to create aircrafts, cars, and drink cans, and a whole heap other things, right? It says some U.S. consumers of aluminum are already facing the highest price for domestic metal since 2015, following a decision by the Trump administration to impose a 10% tariff on imports of the metal that could come with political costs. Right? So, hey, basically, more that type on that. Now I'm gonna read the effect we have upon the Jamaican workers, right? Seeing that the the Gleaner, the Observer, sorry, now the page now load, but going to the similar article to it where I show how much jobs basically can get affected or will be affected by this sanction on the bauxite industry in Jamaica. Right, this I get the page sometime for load. Hey, people think this is a joke, yo, but it's all fun and games until them start get affected, right? Until your lives start get affected, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games till you can't find the profits, right? Hey, please bear my accum there. Hey, that's a seat and right, left and front, yo. Alright, basically it says opposition spokesman on mining and energy Philip Paulwell is expressing concerns about the fate of 600 workers employed at Ewart and St. Catherine plant and of Russian bauxite company UC Rusal against the background of tough sanctions that have been imposed on the company by the government of the United States. Right? It says UC Rusal was among 12 companies and their principals who were sanctioned last week, April 6, by the US government over what the US authorities concerned Russia's malign activities around the globe, including military intervention and cyber attacks. Right? So basically, the whole thing we're going to show say it it affects directly 600 workers can lose their job and 400 that work with it directly, and indirectly another 400 persons can lose them jobs who are part of the industry indirectly, right? So when I look upon it, for Jamaica that is not a good thing, because when you have 1,000 people out of a job just like that, it actually cause a heap of issues, right? And destabilization. So, hey, hope this was edifying. Think the point has been made. Once again, I want to say, yo, all praises. As a matter of fact, let me just bring out a quick precept before we go. Right, now bring out the precept all this along. But hey, that's why the Lord said we're supposed to watch, yo. So the Lord said we're supposed to watch. Because the way they know exactly what to do, right? This is First Thessalonians 5 verse 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Because a lot of people never see this coming until it happen, right? Because according to them, nothing over the east can affect the west. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. Ye are not of the night nor of darkness. Right? Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right? Because that's that. Everybody else them asleep. Right? They mean everything else but the prophecies. Right? And when it overtake them as a thief in the night, them now can't stand. Right? So at the end of the day, hey, if you now watch, you better start watching here, because things about to get real. So that say all praises to how Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth, the sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.